Hey everyone, Kyle once again, and welcome back to another movie review. And it's been quite a bit since I did another rant, so why not do another one right now? And I just got done rewatching a film that came out in the summer of 2012, and I'm still not a fan of the film though. I'm sure some people are though, but I'm still not. But I don't know why. I don't know more I can say. It's just another. It's pretty much. It's a overall a pretty boring movie. But of course, there are some little moments I did like though. But this rant today is I'm going to be reviewing is on Battleship. Like I said, Battleship. It came out in the summer of 2012, May to be exact, in the month. And now, when I first heard about they were going to do a movie back then, back before when I first heard they were going to make a movie about Battleship. And for those who do not know what Battleship is, it's based on a board game by Hasbro. And now, of course, I remember the game growing up. I remember playing the game, and Battleship. You position your ships. And your opponent has to try to figure out where your ship's at. So you have these on the side. You have the numbers and letters. You pick a number and a letter for what spot. Then, if you miss the target, say it's a miss, or if you hit, and if you get all the hits on which ship, you'll say you sunk my battleship. It's basically what it is. And I remember playing the game, and I always had some fun playing the game. And when I first heard they were gonna make a movie about this film, I remember seeing the first teaser poster, and and then they released the first teaser for the film. And okay, it's gonna be an alien movie, an alien invasion. And the first teaser, and it stars Liam Neeson. It's okay, cool. Just Liam Neeson. He's gonna fight aliens based on the board game of Battleship. I remember the teaser was, for most of it, was like on him. And from the teaser, it shows that there's like it's supposed to be, it was like to be the board game. It shows like the battleships are one here and the ships are on one side. It's gonna be like the board game. And then Liam Neeson says which for some reason that's not in the movie. It says he says prepare to fire. Which ones? All of them. And also, enough, if you see in the movie, that's another thing referencing the game. If you see in the movie that the alien ships, when they're firing these small little bombs on the ships, they're the little I think they're called pegs. I think that's what they're called. You put a peg, whatever. And that's actually the aliens' ammunition. With they shoot on the ships and they explode. I was like, really, wow. They put those things from the game. You put in your board game as ammunition. I was like, oh wow. So yeah, but also I was kind of now I saw the film and I even saw this in the theater with some friends. But I was not very wowed when I saw it. I was actually very disappointed because okay, Liam Neeson's in it, but he's not in the film that much, sadly. So yeah, Liam Neeson, I liked him, but he's not in the film that much. He was in it for maybe less than 5 minutes, and he was not in the majority of the film at all. So it's like because okay, I have to get in the story, but before I get into it, it came out. And I knew it was gonna be a big box office flop because from the budget it was over 200 million, and domestically it made about 60-some million, and yeah, worldwide total made 303 million, but domestically it's a huge flop. So and it wasn't critics didn't like the film. Has a 5.9 IMDb and has a 34% Rotten Tomatoes. And I can give it much lower ratings. But yeah. I knew it was going to be a huge flop, considering from the amount of the budget this was spent. And from the director, it's directed by Peter Berg. Now, I never mind this guy as a director because he's directed a few films I really enjoyed, especially The Rundown with starring Dwayne Johnson. He directed The Kingdom with Jamie Foxx and Jennifer Gardner. And he also directed Friday Night Lights, which I have not seen. But he also directed Lone Survivor of Mark Wahlberg, which I thought was decent. Oh yeah, he also directed Hancock. That was those one I forgot to mention. I was almost forgetting with Will Smith, which I do like. I like Hancock. And even also Peter Berg was also an actor as well. Like I most remember him when he starred in Wes Craven's Shocker, which I absolutely love Shocker. I think it's also a bit of an underrated Wes Craven film as well. So, but he acted and he was an actor too, so he was in that movie as well. But I thought Peter Berg was good in that movie as well, Shocker. But getting into the film, it stars Taylor Kitsch, who when I first heard about this guy he starred in X-Men Origins Wolverine. He played Gambit, which I think he did not do a good job as Gambit. And of course, speaking of Gambit, I heard they're doing a solo spin-off of Gambit starring Channing Tatum, which I think the film got delayed. I don't know, which I could see why, because so many Marvel films are coming out within a year, But he was not a good Gambit, and plus I did not like X-Men Origins Wolverine. And then also in the same year in 2012, he starred in this film, and then he starred another considered one of the biggest box office flops of all time. He starred in John Carter, the Disney film John Carter, which I'm also not a fan of as well, and I can see why that film deserved to flop. So yeah, Taylor Kitsch, he starred two big budget films in the same year, and they both were huge flops. Yeah. And yes, I'm eating some licorice here. But and even in the beginning of the film, it opens up with with NASA, because they found a planet out there, and they said they found that it's like identical to Earth, has some of the things that is identical to Earth. So they wanted to send these satellites, and they send out a message. That's these satellites in Hawaii. So they sent out a message, and then sometime later, where Taylor Kitsch which is okay. Yeah, this film and John Carter came out in the same year. So I guess because John Carter, he had the long hair, and at the beginning of the film he still has the same long hair. Funny enough, from John Carter, it's like, oh, it looks like he finished with John Carter and he went to star in this film, and it's just because I know the way, because they came out in the same year. So he's at a bar and he's with his brother, played by Alexander Skarsgard, which Alexander Skarsgard, he's been in mainly in the show True Blood, which it's a show I've still not seen, and I have no interest in it though. But he starred in that show, and he's also starring in the upcoming film The Legend of Tarzan, where he plays as Tarzan. So, but he stars in this as well. He plays his brother, Stone Hopper, and Taylor Kitsch is his Alex Hopper. And then this girl played by who I've not heard of, Brooklyn Decker, which is her right there. I've never heard of her, but for the film, I didn't care for her at all. Just of course, like I said, well, not like I said, but probably a lot of people said, but just a typical good-looking girl, for the hero and stuff, and just which is what they're all just pretty much there for, is to look pretty and all that, but no acting. But because she goes to this bar because she wants a chicken burrito. Now this is I laugh at this because it's so stupid in a bad way, because it's just God. But yeah, she wants a chicken burrito, and Taylor Kitsch, Alex Hopper, he wants to get her a chicken burrito. So he decides to break into this convenience store, which, and of course, you have the Pink Panther music for some reason playing, because da 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 da. And I know this part because I can see that they're reenacting this he's doing the same thing. Like goes up, climbs on the top of the roof of the convenience store, comes in down from the roof and lands on a shelf with a bunch of bottles and stuff. I know because they're reenacting this for that happened in real life, where a dumb criminal comes in the same way, lands on the shelf of bottles and stuff, or lands on the floor through the ceiling. But as I remember that because I saw that from World's Dumbest Criminals. Really, if you know the True TV presents World's Dumbest Criminals. I remember seeing that one criminal do the same thing that he's doing, so I know that he was they were reenacting the same thing, except they're having the Pink Panther music playing. Except he goes in there and gets a chicken burrito, puts it in a microwave, and then the police get there, they taser him, and then he gives her the chicken burrito, and that's how he gets the girl, because he gives her a chicken burrito. It's just so stupid. If anyone's not seen this movie, you just go ahead and check it out and watch the stupidity for that one scene. You know what I'm talking about. That's how he gets the girl, by giving her a chicken burrito because she wanted one. And then it's another sometime later, and of course, he is now in the Navy. The girl who's of course her father is played by Liam Neeson. Of course, he's like this. He's like the the typical father is like, who's like, you date my daughter, or I'm gonna be very stern on you, That typical father, that character cliche, whatever. They do like this Navy soccer game. His team loses. And then what was it? Liam Neeson gets angry with him. Because he gets into a fight with one of the characters, who is a I think it was a Korea, I think it was, or Japanese, I forget, but he gets into a fight with them, and which also the guy who played the Asian guy who was in the film, I actually did not mind the guy who was Tadanobu Asano, I think his name is. I actually did not mind him. I thought he was pretty decent because which I'll explain into later though. But he punches him. Liam Neeson gets mad at him. So and then they're gonna do the naval war games, and they're heading out to sea. Then they see. Because the signal, they send a message out, something comes, they gets a response, something comes flying in down to Earth. One lands in China, and then the rest of it lands in the sea. So they send a boat out there to Taylor Kitsch and let's say one he's cloning Rihanna. Sure, everyone knows who Rihanna is. And the thing is about Rihanna. I'm sorry. No disrespect for people who are fans of Rihanna though, but she could not act in this film. I thought she sucked in this movie, and also that she also she won a Golden Razzie, which I could definitely see why. Sometimes I don't like the Golden Razzies, but a lot of times I can see why certain categories earns it. Most times I don't like the Golden Razzies, but I can see why. And she deserved to win for supporting actress or whatever, for worst supporting actress, because she could not act. Sometimes singers can act though. Most of the times they can't. And I really didn't really. She does not look like she looks like she could be in the Navy. I'm sorry, just look at that. It looks like she doesn't. I don't see her being in the Navy, being all tough and stuff like that. I don't buy that at all. But yeah, they go out there in a small boat. Taylor Kitsch walks up to the thing. He's standing on it. He touches the thing. He gets zapped and flies back. And then the electrical thing creates one of this big maybe a shield or a dome. It covers Hawaii, and the three of the battleships are trapped inside, and Liam Neeson and the other rest of the naval fleet, they're trapped outside, and communication in there has been blocked out. Then the ship here, which I swear, this looks and I've seen for the first teaser. This looks like a Transformers ripoff. I'm sure some people would note this though, but even I would notice that it looks like a Transformers ripoff, this film, because how the way the ships look. Because I swear this ship here reminds me, from Transformers: Dark of the Moon. There was this big huge ship that was flying through Chicago. I swear it looked like one of those ships, except for those from Transformers: Dark of the Moon. I swear. It looked like one of those ships. It was big and about that size. Almost kind of like the same design look, though. Like in Transformers: Dark of the Moon, the two Transformers characters, Wheelie and Brains, how they were messing things up, making the thing go down. That big huge ship. And it's also fitting since I say Transformers ripoff, because the music is done by Steve Jablonsky, which I think his scores for the Transformers films are much better. I think he's trying to do the same thing for here, but the score in this film did nothing. Because Steven Jablonsky, I say he's basically trying to do the same thing for Transformers, because I say Transformers ripoff, and it's fitting because this music is done by Steve Jablonsky. And I think the scores for the Transformers films are much better. And also, one thing I forgot to mention, but it was at the start of this, forgot to mention the start, because 2012 was celebrated the 100th anniversary for Universal Pictures. Forgot to say that. Because I remember during the time when year 2012, when it was the 100th anniversary for Paramount as well as Universal Studios. So whenever the logo of Universal shows up, it shows below 100th anniversary. Forgot to mention that if anyone cares. But yeah, this is a 100th anniversary celebration for this film. That was a huge flop. Yeah. But as I was saying, the ship rises up, which I said looks like one of those big ships from Dark of the Moon. And okay, this is another. Base one says a guy on one of the ships says it's the North Koreas or whatever. I mean, yeah, they would be capable to create something this massive, especially that looks like alien, or besides something that fell out of the sky, clearly from outer space, but it looks like it's from North Korea. Yeah, good thinking there. And another thing, Alexander Skarsgard is on another ship, and I think he says he's the one who said fire a warning shot. Now these aliens. Now when you look at these aliens, because they have these suits, which even my brother said they look like the suits from Halo, except a little bit different. I could see why, because I thought the same thing when I first saw the aliens in the trailer or whatever, or even seeing it on the screen. Even my brother said the same thing. These suits kind of resemble like a little bit from Halo, or they stole something from that. But they do look. But when you take off the mask, they look a little bit like human though, except they have this spiky looking like. If I had this goatee right here, it makes it all long and spiky, and they have kind of a human face. They have like weird looking eyes, and they have like their hands are like 4 fingers that look something like. If I take out this finger, that's where their hand would look like this. So that's a little bit different aliens, but they look mostly human. Now these aliens here, they said the Alexander Skarsgård says fire a warning shot. Now these aliens are from outer space, and I assume they don't know what a warning shot is because they fire at them and they shoot it and it like goes from the hip and misses from the side. So aliens, I'm not sure whether or not they don't know what a warning shot is though, but they probably because wherever they did because they also have this things that they have a scanning system. Like if it's not threatening, it's green. But if it is anything that's threatening, if it's a small thing that looks threatening, the whole thing is considered threatening, and it shows up red. So they scan their guns and the whole thing. Oh, it's a threat, so it glows red. So they start firing. Like I said, the ammunition are the little peg like things you put on the board game. They start firing at it. It starts exploding, and Alexander Skarsgård, Alexander Skarsgård, he gets killed, and then they start. The Taylor Kitsch gets back on the boat, and then he wants to start firing at the boat, but the other ship that has the Asian guy on it, he starts firing. So the aliens, they shoot at them. Their ship blows up with their survivors. So they get them out of there. So they're on the ship. Then they find one alien that they found in the water. So they take them on the board, and this is when they take the helmet up that shows what the aliens look like. Like I said, it looks more human, except with a spiky looking beard. And one of the alien wakes up and grabs Taylor Kitsch's face, and it shows him like a vision, like a future vision that says that it's pretty much they want to take over the Earth. And then more of their friends, his friends comes in, they take him, take him out. And then it cuts once again, and then okay, they got happening with the ships over there, and then Liam Neeson, I think shows him like once in a while that they can't get past communication. They're stuck out there. Like I said, he's not in that much, sadly, because I like Liam Neeson as an actor, especially my review of Taken. Sadly, he's not in it that much, sadly. And then it cuts. And then you have this other side note. With the Taylor Kitsch's girlfriend or Liam Neeson's daughter, he's helping this army vet guy who has no legs, and I do believe in real life that he is actually a real life army vet, a soldier. I think so. I think he is. I think he really is a real life army guy though. And she wants to help him. They're outside, and they happen to be in the same area where the satellites are that sent out the message, and the aliens, they go down there and they start setting up things to reconnect the satellites to send another signal back to their home world. And one guy that has like this nerdy scientist guy, he has a full beard, glasses. He gets out of there, and later meets up with them. Tells them they have a way to communicate. He has a device that helps communicate within the barrier. So he has to go down there and get his case. Now the whole thing with the Taylor Kitsch's girlfriend, the soldier guy, this is all gonna be cut up because I didn't care about them. Yeah, so even though the guy I believe is a real life army vet though, I'm sorry, but that whole scene can be cut out because that's another thing. I said the film was boring because it's too long. This is over 2 hours long, and it's, let me get the precise, 2 hours. It's like 2 hours and 11 minutes, and it's way too long. It just drags on. I guess you don't get to when the first encounter with the aliens before they start shooting him with the whole barrier comes up. I think it was like about within close to like 35 minutes. I think maybe 35, maybe to 40 or 45. I can't remember though. It's around that time. That's how long it took before the real first encounter of this thing. It's just way too long, and it should have been. If you cut the whole thing with Taylor Kitsch's girlfriend and the soldier guy, it would have made the film a lot short. But it would not save the movie because the film is not all that great at all. But and back with the ships, and it's a nighttime, and now they come to the conclusion that it's nighttime, and they can't see where they are. And the Asian guy comes up and says, "Yeah, but I don't think they can see us either." And why? Because we're still alive. And when he said that, I was like doing this, scratching my head, because how can they not see them? Because didn't they just get back on didn't they just crawl on that ship because they crawl on that ship because to get their friend out of there, you know? Oh, I forgot to mention, there was also another thing. There was one alien that was still aboard the ship, and it's beating some people up, and Taylor Kitsch lures it outside, and Rihanna takes goes to one of the cannons and says, "Mahala, mother!" It cuts to them shooting the cannon, blowing up the alien. Okay, I got that one little moment where okay, you get the cannon, you blow up one alien. Okay. So I forgot to mention that scene because there was one of the alien that was still aboard. But getting back to the one that's I was like, how does that work? I mean, they were just on the ship to pick up their friend that was left behind. So now all of a sudden they don't see them. I don't get that part. I just don't get it. Or cut to another thing, another stupid thing where the aliens, they have this now they have the peg like ammunition from the board game. They also shoot out these things, these spiky round ball things right here. They shoot out these things and they're basically there just to tear a whole bunch of things up. Like because later on they use these things to tear up the battleships but they send some of them on land. Like one lands in a baseball field and it's scanning it. Like one kid is standing right in front of it, and it scans it. Okay, it's fine. The kid's not a threat. But then it goes to the freeways, and it scans the freeways, and it's red. It glows red. It means it's a threat. And it starts bashing all the concrete the things that holds them up. I forget what they're called, but I'm thinking, how is that how is the freeway a threat? Because you scan the kid and he lights up green. That means he's not a threat to the thing. But it scans the freeways and it's a threat. It didn't want to kill the kid, but it destroys the whole freeways and a bunch of cars falling out, which some people would have died, I guess, but. I'm just scratching my head thinking, what is up with this? Because it didn't want to kill the kid because it was not a threat, but the freeway's a threat, and it crushes the freeways, yet some cars are flying, you presumably think probably kill some people. And even the vision where it grabbed Taylor Kitsch and said that they want world domination. I mean, do these things do not know how to make up their minds? Do they want to kill people, or they want to take over the world, but they don't want to kill people at the same time? I just don't get it. I was just confused in that part. Do they want to kill or don't they? Because certain people are not a threat, but even inanimate objects like a freeway is a threat. It glows red. I don't get it. I'm just scratching my head on that part. And like I said, they don't see them because even as at night time, they don't see them because they're alive. I don't get it. But I do get to the next scene, which I do like because they're doing the take on the board game. Because they don't have radar, and they start setting up this on the screen where it's basically like, they're making like the board game because you have their ship on the screen, and then it lights up the letters, the A, B, C, and the 1, 2, 3, and how they're gonna detect where the ships are because they have these buoys because when a tsunami comes, the buoy will send a signal if it goes underwater or whatever. And they start firing at the ships, and of course you hear, "It's a miss, sir." Miss. Okay, and another thing. If these ships could fly, right? Fly. But I thought it was kind of laughable because I see these ships they're bouncing up and down, up and down. They're hopping up and down. I mean, these things, they can fly, can hover, but they're hopping. I don't know that's another thing I thought, because I don't get these aliens are so confusing. Now the ship can also, they can just hop and jump like a little bunny rabbit. But that's how they're moving the buoys. They're triggering the buoys, and they're firing a miss and a miss. But there's two of them coming at them, and they manage to fire and they hit both at the same time. It's a hit, sir. It's a hit. So I do like the thing about this. Okay, this one scene because they're doing the reference in the board game. The hit and miss. I do like that. And one thing I'll give a praise for. I will give praise for is that I like the special effects. I thought that it was good looking special effects because because it should be for over $200 million budget. It should look, the special effects should look good. I mean, like I said, these alien ships, they look like they're, even though the ships look like rip-off from Transformers Dark of the Moon, though, but even another thing with this, with the Transformers film, it is good special effects. I still give some credit to that, though, but it is the good special effects. I do enjoy that. The one scene when they reference the board game. So they destroy two of them, and there's one still alive, and they get an idea because they discovered that they're sensitive to the sunlight, and so they're gonna lure the alien ship where the sunrise is coming up, and they get in position. And as the sunrise comes up, it's blocking like the aliens. They're sensitive to like it's like blurring them out and stuff. And then they start firing at it. They destroy the ship, but it's still managed enough to create one of those spiky ball things. It tears up the ship. The John Paul Jones ship is what it's called. Tears through the ship, cuts it in half. All of them dive overboard, and they get the message that the girlfriend tells them they're at the mountain where they're putting the satellite together. So they get their information before the ship is destroyed. So they say, this is we don't have a ship anymore. And Taylor Kitsch says, now we do. Yeah, we do. We have a battleship, and that is the U.S. The battleship is the USS Missouri. And the USS Missouri that has not been started up for a long time because it's a museum now, and it's been decommissioned for who knows, forever, years and years and years maybe. But because you saw the USS Missouri was there, we saw earlier in the film, but I was just thinking, because if I want to see a better film with the USS Missouri, I'll just watch the first Under Siege film with Steven Seagal. Which that's another film I want to review, because I want to review that film and the second film. So I will review those two though. But if you're referring to the USS Missouri, I'll watch the first Under Siege because that's a fun action movie I absolutely love. So, but the USS Missouri they're going to use, and all these old war veterans are there, and then they're going to start up the whole thing. Which, okay, two things. The song that starts playing is AC/DC's Thunderstruck, which I thought was a totally, to me, it looked like it was an out of place song to play for a scene like this. I mean, it worked well in Iron Man 2 because Iron Man, Tony Stark, he played AC/DC. I forgot in the first film. AC/DC in the first one, I believe. I mean, that fits with Iron Man, but it didn't fit well with this film where they're preparing the USS Missouri, and they still have all this ammunition, which I thought they would take all that stuff off so that it would not go into battle anymore. But apparently they still have all this ammunition still there. Thank goodness. But all those years they didn't bother to take all that stuff off because it was no longer gonna be a battleship anymore. But anyway, they take it out, and the other big huge the ship that holds the platforms where the barriers is still holding up one. It rises up, and while that's going on, the girlfriend, the soldier, and the scientist guy, they're gonna try to disable the signal or the satellites because they managed to mess it up, and then the soldier guy, gets into a fight with one of the aliens, which was not a good fight, to be honest. I just watching it, I don't think it's not that great of a fight. He fights the alien, you see punches out its teeth out, but I just think it was not that great of a fight though. And Then the battleship gets there. They start firing. Okay, they they're gonna turn away to they're gonna turn sideways, right? And the aliens, they predict where to fire their ammunition to where the ship is going to be. So uh, Alex, Taylor Kitsch's character's name is Alex Hopper. He makes a reference to Art of War, and he tells them to drop one of the anchors, and as the anchor hits, it stops the ship fully, and it starts making like a turn, a hard right turn, or starts sliding towards the ship, and they fire at it. Which I'm thinking, I know they can make a battleship do that though, but I'll just go with it. Even though if it doesn't make sense, because even though I probably know it doesn't make any sense though, but okay, whatever. You drop the anchor, makes a ship go to a dead stop, but makes it slide a bit towards the ship. And then you do get I do admit that you get another fun scene which is that scene right there, or that scene right there on the front cover, or either way, right there, where the USS Missouri is firing at the battleship. Okay, I do admit that's a good little fun scene right there, or the USS Missouri is firing at the alien ship. They start firing it. They fire it again, and they have one last missile to fire at the mountain to blow up all the satellites to destroy whatever. And they manage to do that. They destroy the mountain. All the satellites are destroyed. Since the barrier has been destroyed as well, that was on the alien ship. Then Liam Neeson can finally get air support out there and destroy whatever's left of the ship. And after that, the soldiers, they get to honor the Navy people, even including Taylor Kitsch, and even his brother Alexander Skarsgard gets honored as well. And then he goes up to Liam Neeson to ask to marry his daughter, and he says no. He's like, okay, I like what Liam Neeson says. He's like, first Taylor Kitsch says, "Sir, I just saved the world," and then Liam Neeson goes, "Saving the world is one thing, Hopper, but my daughter is another thing. I'm late for lunch. If you excuse me, I'm late for lunch. I think I'll have a chicken burrito." Because I guess he knew about that. And then the end credits, as the end credits are going on, you have the song by Creedence Clearwater, "Some supposed to fall, paved to wear the flag. Oh, that red, white, and blue." Yeah. So, and then there's also a post credit. There's even a post credit scene. I'm like, really? Is this film really worth to have a post credit scene, hinting if it made enough money, it was going to get a sequel? Because it lands in Ireland, and then where one of the aliens crashed, and then it opens up, a hand reaches out, and that's basically it. Really, was that worth the post credit scene? Because they thought they were going to get a sequel to this. This film was not worth enough to get a sequel. I'm sorry. That post credit was like a waste of space there. Didn't need to be in there. But yeah, Battleship. Now this is not what the film's. This film didn't piss me off where I'm just yelling and screaming. I just watch it as like, okay, I'm not a fan of this film. I don't like the film. That's basically it. I'm not gonna shout and scream. I was like, okay, didn't like the film. That's basically it. But yeah, Battleship. I mean, majority. I would say pretty much this whole cast sucks. I mean, because even though I like Liam Neeson, he's not in the film that much. He's in it for like less than 5 minutes. Oh, or maybe I think maybe less than, because I didn't count. The Asian guy, the Asian guy, I didn't mind him. I thought he was pretty decent. But Rihanna, I thought she sucked big time. I could see why she won the Golden Razzie for Worst Supporting Actress. Brooklyn Decker is the girlfriend, the typical pot blonde girl, whatever. I don't buy. That's all that's all they do for. It's like the same thing with the Transformers films, with Megan Fox and that other girl from the third movie is there to look pretty and stuff. but can't act for crap. So yeah, Taylor Kitsch, I did not like Taylor Kitsch. I thought I'm not a big fan of him as an actor. Put it that way. I did not like him in John Carter. Did not like him in X-Men Origins Wolverine. I just don't like him. You know, I think he just sucked. He sucks in this movie. He sucked in John Carter. He sucked in X-Men Origins Wolverine. I mean, like I said before, Liam Neeson, he's in it. I like him, but he's not in it that much. And the film is just way too long. It's over 2 hours, and could have cut all the stuff of that post-credit scene, and then the stuff with the girlfriend with the soldier guy. That all that could have been cut out, and it would have made the film shorter, but it wouldn't matter because the film still sucked. And to think that back then, before I heard the idea they were making a film about Battleship, I was like, okay, cool. But then overall, I was just being disappointed, basically. The score did nothing for me, you know, because Steve Jablonsky is basically trying to do the same thing for his Transformers films, which, ironically, it looks like a Transformers ripoff. I mean, his scores for the Transformers films are better. Like I said, it's over 2 hours long, and it's way too long. For features, it's not much. Just three. It's just preparing for battle, all the hands on deck with the cast, engage in battle, shooting on at sea, all aboard the fleet. Too bad there's no audio commentary. Otherwise, I like to hear Peter Berg's thoughts on it. Because usually there's always a commentary with the director and stuff, when I like to hear his thoughts on it. But well, on the front cover it says it's explosive and action-packed, and on the back says a big, bold blast and explosively fun. I mean, yeah, I did get some fun moments where, you know, the battleship, the USS Missouri firing at the big ship. I got some fun moments. I got some fun out of that, you know. I like the scene where they reenact the board game. But that's basically it, though. Other than those two little scenes, what else is there to give? I mean, the majority of the cast sucked, and the pacing is too slow and boring. I don't know what more I can say about this film. Just, I mean, and when I mentioned Transformers, would I prefer the Transformer franchise over this? Basically, yeah. I mean, any of the Transformers would be better than this. I mean, I'll even say that Age of Extinction, the fourth one, is better. I'll even buy Mark Wahlberg as his character Keg Yeager. I'll even buy him over than Taylor Kitsch. I would definitely say that, though. But it's not the same much because the Transformers films is just, and yes, I heard about they released the title for the fifth one called The Last Night. Great, but except for those two scenes, and again, and good special effects, that's pretty much it, though. And there's as an Alien, when they decided to go the Alien movie route, I've seen better. I've seen better alien invasion movies, but probably some things I like people don't like, though. But it's just my opinion on that. But anyway, I'm almost doing over 45 minutes of this thing, and I gotta stop right here because I don't want this to be over an hour thing on this rant on this film. But yeah, Battleship. If anyone likes the film, that's fine. I'm not gonna judge you for it, though. But I'm not a fan of this movie, and it deserved to be a huge flop. Peter Berg has done better. I love the Rundown. I enjoy The Kingdom, and I like Hancock. I'll even say Lone Survivor is much better than this. I'll even say that. But it's not one of his best. It's not one of his best work. But yeah, that's my review. That's my review for Battleship. Like I said, if anyone's a fan of it, that's perfectly fine. But I'm not, and I gave my reasons why. But for 2 hours and 12 minutes or 11 minutes, whatever, it's not worth the time. I'll probably pop it in again just to watch those 2 scenes, because or otherwise I'll just skip it over just to get to the good stuff, because what else is there to like about it? But anyway, that's my review for Battleship. It sucks. It's another big budget film that sucks. And it's you know what, you could give, like, for a film that's worth over 200 million, you could split and make like 4 other movies that would have been better. But that's just me though. But hope you enjoyed this rant. It's because it's been a while, and I don't know what to do. It's just, maybe because maybe also because the reason why, because the film did poorly because it was in the time, because the first Avengers came out. It was huge. It was taking away box office and everything. So maybe that's why the film did poorly, because it was the Avengers. But anyway, that's it. I'm stopping here now. But hope you enjoy this rant of Battleship. Just another random review, just picking out wherever, But thanks for watching, and stay tuned on the next movie review. Later.